And he's trying to run wide around Ohio's left end, and he's brought to work terrifically hard back there on about the 34-5 yard line. Pretty close to the 34, we believe. He was caught there by Bob Shaw. Bob Shaw caught him around the sweater wristband and whirled him around there like dragging a fish out of the lake, and finally second base head first into the mire back on the 34. It wasn't a good tackle, but it was quite a loss. All right, fading back quite a loss. All right, fading back quite a loss. All right, fading back quite a loss. All right, fading back. In Horvath in the safety for Ohio. There is a kick. The ball goes to Fletcher on the Ohio 30. He's up to the 35, the 40, the 45. He's over the mid-stripe, down to Michigan 45. He's hit and backed out of bounds on the 43. A beautiful run back by Fletcher. Finally knocked out of bounds by Klegelman and Paul White. That's little Pete Fletcher, George Fletcher, 175-pounder from Massillon, Ohio. It's Ohio's ball. It's placed on the 43-yard Ohio line. And it's 1st and 10 for the Buckeyes, 15 yards in from the far side of the field. Out of T formation, single wing right, Fletcher in the tailback spot. Man in motion, the man in motion is Feckerty. Ball goes to Feckerty, fades back. There's a pass over in the flat, it goes to Feckerty. He has it, he catches it on the 45. He's up to the 40, the 35. He's knocked out of bounds on about the 33-yard line. Knocked out by the Michigan secondary. It was Paul White, the right halfback, who knocked Feckerty out of bounds. That was a single wingback formation with Feckerty in motion and Fletcher in the tailback spot. Fletcher took that ball and faded back, tossed the pass over in the left flat to Gene Feckerty, and it's a first down. On the Michigan 33-yard line. 15 yards in from our side of the field. Fletcher in the tailback spot again. Horvath on the wing. The ball goes to Fletcher. He's running wide. Then he stays back there and he's caught. Oh, and he drops a terrific loss back on the 43-yard line. He was trying to throw that pass out there. I believe that the potential receiver was Horvath and Shaw going down into deep Michigan territory, but he was caught from behind by Wiskert and Cyhamel. The ball is placed on the Michigan 43-yard line. Loss of 10 yards. 2nd down and 20 for the Buckeyes. The yardage expected he just won on that pass from Fletcher has just been lost. All right, single wing, they shift to the right. Fletcher is deep. Man in motion. It's Feckerty in motion again. Fletcher has the ball. And there's a long pass down the middle. Look out for this. Ooh, it was a tough break. It was Horvath. Horvath leaped in the air about 4 feet on the 6-yard line. And he juggled that ball for a moment and finally lost it. It's an incomplete forward pass. 3rd down, 20 for the Buckeyes. Ohio State receivers running all over that field. That was that T formation. Down to the right again. Feckerty loose out from the left flat. Fletcher taking the ball, fading back with Steinberg, Lim, Feckerty, and Horvath all running at different angles. All right, substitution coming in for the Buckeyes. It is Staringhouse coming in. 3rd down and 20. Staringhouse, who just came out of the ball game a moment ago, replaced by Fletcher, is coming in. Fletcher going out. Ohio State 7, Michigan nothing. 8.5 minutes of playing time remaining in the 3rd period. All right. Time in again, Ohio State going into that huddle. That announcement, Ohio substitution, Staringhouse for Fletcher. Ready to go again. 5-yard penalty for Ohio State. Too many times out. 3rd and 25. And the ball goes deep to Staringhouse. Staringhouse is caught back there, but he gets away. And he is finally knocked out of bounds for another loss on the Ohio State 44-yard line, I believe. Yes, the referee dropped the handkerchief on the 44. It was Madar and Cyhamel who rushed the passers. Madar getting in there, and Staringhouse sidestepped into his right. However, Cyhamel boxed him over there, and finally Cyhamel and Madar drove Staringhouse out of bounds on the Ohio State 44-yard line. This series of offenses started down on the Michigan 33. Now they push the ball back in 3 downs to the Ohio State 44. Long confirmation. Staringhouse standing inside his own 35. Slate and Kuzma in the safety spot for Michigan. There's the kick, and the kick goes down to Kuzma, and Kuzma runs to his left. He took that on the 20, and he's knocked down on the 22-yard line. He fell over one of his own men. One of his own men going down there to toss in a block, and he fell over his own man. It was Klegelman. Klegelman trying to block out Ohio State. Brown Steinberg, and Kuzma fell over his foot, and the ball is on the Michigan 22-yard line. Michigan ball, 1st and 10, 15 yards in from our side of the field. Well, Michigan receives that punt. The man who gets it on the east side runs over and gives it to the man on the west. So you never know just who has that ball. That time, Kuzma faked it and finally ran himself. Right at T formation, the ball goes to the fullback, Weesey, and Weesey on a full spinner play finds a big hole in the Ohio forward wall and moves that ball up to the Michigan 35 for a first down before he was brought to earth by Steinberg and Feckerty. All right, the Wolverines are on the move. Ohio State in their territory in possession and shoved them from the 33 back to the 44. They finally took that kick and off on their own 22. They've made it a first down on their own 35. 1st and 10 midway between the sideline markers. Cruz in the tailback spot again. Weesey up, man in motion, it's right. The ball goes to fullback Weesey, and Weesey is smacked hard at the line of scrimmage by Lindell Houston. Lindell Houston. Lindell Houston. Lindell Houston, the left guard of Ohio State. This boy Houston plays a lot of football on the forward wall of Ohio State. When it comes to picking an All-American, relative to get this boy Houston and fellas like Quagelman and Franks of Michigan, well, they're just overlooking some great facts. And after all is said and done, who is there in the world that can go out and pick a good, legitimate All-American team and satisfy everybody? All right, here we go again. It's 2nd and 10. From the Michigan 35, Michigan in possession. Again, fullback Weesey takes the ball. He tries that power drive through the forward wall of Ohio, hurdles the line. And he picks up a little yardage up to about, he picks up a little yardage up to about, he picks up a little yardage up to about the 39 before he's brought down by Houston and Feckerty. 3rd down and 6 for Michigan. And midway between the sideline markers. Ohio State 7, Michigan nothing. And you're listening to WTAM Cleveland. Maize and blue of Michigan, the scarlet and gray of Ohio State. All right, second one up over that ball. Michigan shifts strong to the right again. A 4-2 offensive line. And the ball goes back to White, and White fades back, and he throws a forward pass. He was caught way back there on the Michigan 25-yard line, and they threw a pass in desperation. It is incomplete. The potential receiver on the play was Elmer McGraw, the right end. But Phil Vickroy, and they're rushing the passes. So the ball is placed back on the 39. It'll be 4th down and 6 for Michigan. Horvath and Stellinghouse fading back into the receiving spot for Ohio State. Horvath to the east, or to the west, and Stellinghouse to the east. All right, Kuzma deep. Picks the ball, and it goes out of bounds over near the Ohio State 35-yard line, somewhere in that vicinity, I believe. The referee marked the ball back on the Ohio State 27, but he gets a great Bronx cheer from the crowd. He finally takes it out of the 37. There'll be Ohio State strong. Referee wasn't going to last the shot. All right, 1st and 10, Ohio on their own 37. T formation left. Feckerty tailback this time. Ball goes to Feckerty, and Feckerty tries Michigan's left end, left tackle. Moves the ball up over the 40-yard line. McGraw and Weesey in on the tackle. The ball is placed on the Ohio State 41. Gives the Harris fullback Feckerty 4 yards to the play, make it 2nd and 6. Getting awfully dark down here in the Ohio Horseshoe. And Ohio up there again. Vickroy over the ball, a T formation, single ring right. Stellinghouse deep. Stellinghouse takes the ball, fires the ball at Feckerty, and Feckerty running wide around Michigan's left end. But he was caught out there, caught beautifully by White and by Sharp. Caught on the 40-yard line for a loss of 1 yard. Joe Petula getting up off the ground. That's Michigan's right tackle. Referee is timeout while he takes care of that ball down there. Ball is placed back on the Ohio 40. He's 3rd down and about 7. That T formation. Quick opening play. Lim has the ball. Lateral back to Stellinghouse. Beautiful block by Horvath. There's a long pass down to Bob Shaw. Shaw grabs the ball in the Michigan 30, and he's away for a touchdown. It's a touchdown for Ohio State. It's Bob Shaw. I don't believe he went out of bounds. This is the crowd for a moment. Let me recap that play for you. That was a 60-yard touchdown. It was a single wing formation to the right. Sarringhouse in the tailback spot. Sarringhouse took that ball from center and faded far over to his right as if to run Michigan's left end. And then Bob Shaw, beating it down the field, turned around, and there was that pass, letter high, chest high. He grabbed the ball on the Michigan 25 and went down the east sideline, and he was dangerously close to the eastern boundary line, but he did not step out, and it's Ohio State 13, Michigan nothing. Man, oh man, what a ball game. All right, attempting the conversion now. Feckerty doing the kicking, and Horvath will do the holding. Shaw and Sarringhouse scoring for Ohio State. There's the pass, there's the kick, and it's good. Oh, it hit the crossbar and bounded on the upside. So the score, Ohio State 14, Michigan nothing. And I see the band is whooping it up. John, let's hear it. Down the picture down on the field now. The Buckeyes of Ohio State with their long scarlet overcoats. Well, they're just going mad. That's the boys that are on the bench, waiting to rush out there on the field and to give aid to any of their comrades. Over on the Michigan side, they haven't given up. No Michigan team ever gives up. They're out there with their overcoats on with the big fur collars, and the boys with the megaphones, the cheerleaders, are yelling encouragement out there to the boys in beige and blue. We have 4 minutes and 26 seconds of playing time, and it's the third period of the ball game. Ohio State 14, Michigan nothing. White is in, replacing Steinberg at left end for Ohio State. And kicking off for Ohio will be Charlie Surrey, the Stephen West Tech boy. It appears that Surrey will angle that kick out of bounds again. There's the whistle, toe meets other, boom, the ball is in the air, and it's out of bounds. Clear over in the laps of the spectators over on the east corner of the field. So the ball will go to Michigan first and 10 on their own 35-yard line. Bob Kolosar going out at left guard for Michigan, and Walt Freehofer coming in. Bob Cappy is replacing Kuzma at left half. It certainly must be said that the lines of Michigan and the line of Ohio State are playing magnificent football out there this afternoon. The scoring has been through the air. All right, Michigan's ball first and 10 on the 35. The ball goes deep to Cappius. Fades back and throws a pass. It was intercepted back there by Sarringhouse, but he was hit, and the ball bounded out of his arms, and the umpire with his arms down, incomplete forward pass. It was Sarringhouse that came up out of the Ohio safety, grabbed that forward pass from the arm of Cappius, and he started to run with the ball, but he was hit and dropped it, so the referee called it incomplete. Back to the Michigan 35, second down. T formation, strong right. A 4-2 offensive line. The ball goes to the up back, who is Weesey. A lateral pass goes back to Cappius. Cappius tries to run with that ball, but he's hit and knocked down by Bob Shaw. This guy, Bob Shaw, is playing a lot of football in there, particularly so in this third period of the ball game. Referee has placed the ball on the 35-yard line. No gain, no loss. A little bit light of the 35. Let's put it on the 34. Third down, 11. About 18 yards in from our side of the field. Always that T formation for Michigan. Six-man defensive line, Ohio. Now 5-3-2-1. The ball goes to the up back of the play, who is White fades back and throws a forward pass. It is good to Cappius. Cappius grabs it at midfield. He's up to the Ohio 45, the Ohio 40. He's caught in the 35, and boom, down he goes. And Johnny White, Ohio's left end, made the tackle. That was the most deceptive play in the Michigan backfield. The ball going first to Bob Weesey. Bob Weesey throwing the ball over to White. White throwing the ball over to Cappius. And Cappius finally grabbing that ball at midfield and finally running to the Ohio State 45-yard line for a first down. Man in motion, White's in motion, and the ball goes to the fullback. Cappius gets the ball, and Cappius rattles the ball over to White, and White runs Ohio's right in, but he gets absolutely nowhere. There's Les Horvath that comes up out of the secondary, grabs him around the neck and drops him on the Ohio State 36-yard line. That's where that down was with Cappius on the Ohio State 35. Now he loses 1 yard back to the 36, so it's second and 11. Michigan's ball, second 11 on the Ohio State 36. Excuse, please. Single wing, they shift to the right. And the ball goes to Weesey. Weesey laterals back to Cappius. Cappius throws a forward pass, and it is good. The pass goes to Elmer Madar. He grabs the ball on the Ohio State 25, and he is brought down on the Ohio 20, again by Johnny White, Ohio's left end. Well, the Wolverines are on the move. It's the first down on the Ohio State 20-yard line. And this the third period of the ball game. The headlinesman is waving his hands in the air. It's a timeout for Ohio State. All motorists, here's an important message from the government. After December 1st, it'll be illegal to drive your car if you have more than 5 tires. Now, if you have more than 5 passenger car tires, pick out the 5 best and keep them for your car. And then call the Railway Express agency. Tell them you have some idle tires for the government. Railway Express will come and pick up your extra tires without cost to you. They'll give you a receipt. After your tires have been appraised by the government experts, you'll get a check from Uncle Sammy for their value. You'll get ceiling prices. If you prefer, of course, you have the privilege of donating your extra tires to the government. But whether you give or sell your idle tires, do it right away. Call the nearest Railway Express agency. You're listening to WTAM. Your announcer is Tom Manning. And this afternoon, we have here in our control booth John Disbrow, and handling our parabolic microphone, bringing you the crowd cheers and the music and so forth, is our chief engineer in Cleveland, Mr. Eddie Lennon. Well, let's time out. I'd like for a moment for all of you folks to hear the voice of Jim Farman. Jim, what do you think of the situation up to now?
Well, Tom, I think we're seeing about the best ball game I've ever seen. We just had 2 substitutions. My buddy Bob J. Bush from Larry went in for Hal Dean, and Don Steinberg went back in for John White, who incidentally is playing a whale of a game against his big brother Paul, Michigan's right halfback. Well, time's in, and you better take the mic again, Tom.
All right, thanks for those substitutions, Jim. Over the Michigan side, Kolesar is back in at left guard for Michigan. It's Michigan's ball, 1st and 10, and they're deep in Ohio territory. All right, single wing, they shift to the right this time. Man in motion is White. The ball goes to Weesey. Weesey on a fake lateral to